Have you ever caught yourself thinking that your cat is strange? Not in a bad way, of course, just unusual. There she is, your purring, affectionate beauty, sitting in the middle of the room, completely motionless, staring intently, piercingly at what appears to be an absolutely empty wall. For hours, or suddenly she freezes as if rooted to the spot, like a statue from an ancient Egyptian temple, staring at a dark, dusty corner where, according to your firm, unshakable conviction, there is absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Not a speck of dust, not a cobweb, not the slightest movement. Emptiness. And so you look at her, at this mysterious feline soul, and questions swarm in your head. What does she see there? Perhaps ghosts? Do cats really see things that we, mere mortals, cannot see? Or perhaps she has a secret, top-secret meeting with an invisible friend, which you, as the owner, are not supposed to know about. Or maybe she's starting to hallucinate and it's time to run to the veterinarian. Stop! Hold on! Stop panicking! Everything is much, much, much more interesting than it seems at first, most superficial glance. Get ready, dear friends, because today we will not just peek behind the veil of mystery, but literally throw it wide open. We are embarking on a fascinating, captivating journey full of unexpected discoveries into the depths of the feline vision world. And finally, we will reveal this shocking, incredible, mind-stirring truth about what cats actually see in that very notorious emptiness that so intrigues us, confuses us, and makes us construct the most incredible assumptions. Forget for a moment everything you knew, or thought you knew, about cats. Your cat is not just a cute, fluffy ball that likes to purr on your lap, chase a laser pointer, and sleep for 20 hours a day. No, no, and once again, no. She is a direct descendant of ancient, powerful, wild predators, a true hunter with a whole arsenal of unique, amazing, supernatural, in some sense, abilities that most people, even the most devoted cat lovers, don't even suspect. And one of these superpowers, one of the main feline features, is, undoubtedly, vision. Cats see the surrounding world completely, absolutely, radically differently than we humans do. Their eyes are not just beautiful, expressive mirrors of the soul capable of melting any, even the most callous heart. They are real, high-tech, precisely tuned night vision devices, created by nature to capture the tiniest details, the most insignificant movements, the faintest glimmers of light that are completely, absolutely, 100% inaccessible to the human eye. Let's conduct a small but very revealing experiment. Right now, without looking away from the screen, look around you. Look at the wall in front of you, or at any other seemingly empty surface. What do you see? Most likely, you see a flat, monochrome, more or less smooth surface painted in some specific color. Perhaps there are small, barely noticeable irregularities, tiny spots, scratches, or wear marks. But overall, it's just a wall, just a surface. Nothing special, right? And now, attention, the most important moment. Imagine for a second that you are a cat. The same wall, the same corner of the room, the same lighting. But instead of a boring, monotonous surface, you see a whole, incredibly complex, multidimensional, constantly changing, and dynamic world. A world full of tiny, invisible to the human eye, almost magical dust particles that chaotically, yet at the same time, mesmerizingly, as if in some cosmic dance, float in the air, illuminated by invisible, mysterious rays of sun or artificial light. A world in which barely perceptible ghostly shadows from birds flying outside the window, from tree branches swaying in the wind, from cars passing by run across the wall. A world covered with microscopic cracks, hair-thin cobwebs, each of which is a separate, unique universe, a whole world in miniature. And all of this, absolutely everything, constantly moves, changes, shimmers, plays with light and shadow. The fact is that the cat's eye is fundamentally different from the human eye. It has much greater sensitivity to movement, even the most insignificant, most fleeting. Even if an object moves by fractions of a millimeter, by some microscopic amount, the cat will notice it. Her eye is an ultra-precise sensor tuned to detect any, even the weakest fluctuations. Cats also have amazing, incredibly developed, simply fantastic peripheral vision. They see much more than we do, encompassing with their gaze a huge, colossal space that for us humans remains a blind zone, completely beyond visibility, as if in fog. What is for you just the edge of a wall, the periphery, an insignificant detail, emptiness, for a cat might be the edge of a captivating, most interesting, drama-filled event happening somewhere over there, around the corner, outside your human field of vision. She sees what happens behind the scenes of your reality, but that's not all. Prepare for a real shock. Cats are true superheroes, possessing an ability that Superman himself would envy. They can see the invisible in the direct, literal sense of the word. They have the ability to see ultraviolet radiation, a part of the light spectrum that is absolutely, completely inaccessible to the human eye. And this fundamentally, radically, principally changes everything. Imagine that you're looking at an ordinary, familiar, seemingly unremarkable flower. For you, it may just be beautiful, bright, pleasantly scented, but overall, quite mundane. Nothing supernatural. But for a cat, this same flower is a whole spectacle of colors, patterns, lines, and spots that we humans are simply physically unable to see. On flower petals, it turns out, there are special markings visible only in ultraviolet light which, like runway lights at an airport, show pollinating insects the shortest and most convenient path to nectar. And cats see these markings. They see this hidden pattern, invisible to us, but incredibly beautiful and complex. Moreover, cats can see traces of urine from other animals, even if these traces dried long, very long ago and became absolutely 100% invisible to humans. These marks, like invisible ink, like secret messages, like road signs on an invisible map, tell the cat a whole story about who was here, when, why, what they did, what mood they were in, and even what gender and age they are. Can you imagine what a huge, colossal amount of information our familiar, every day, seemingly so familiar and understandable world hides from us? But cats see all this, every detail, every little thing, every nuance. They live in a much richer, more saturated and informative world than we do. But vision, as amazing as it is only part of the feline superpower, just one side of the coin. Hearing is no less important. Cats hear sounds at frequencies that are far, far beyond the capabilities of the human ear, in some completely different dimension. A light, barely perceptible creak of a floorboard in the next room, behind the wall, a quiet, almost inaudible rustle of a mouse running under the floor, a barely audible, like a mosquito's whine, sound of a mosquito flying over the ear, which you didn't even notice. All these sounds the cat hears distinctly, clearly, crystal clear, even if it is at a considerable distance from the sound source, even if there are several walls and closed doors between it and this source. And, of course, She will stare intently, attentively, concentratedly in the direction from which this sound comes, even if for you there is absolute, deathly, impenetrable silence. She hasn't gone mad. No, no. She isn't hallucinating or seeing ghosts. She simply hears what you don't hear. She perceives the world at a completely different level, inaccessible to us. Cats, among other things, are also unsurpassed. Virtuoso masters of concentration. They can spend hours, literally hours, without looking away, without blinking, without moving, observing a single tiny point, studying it from all sides, from all possible angles, catching the slightest microscopic changes, analyzing every movement, every vibration. This amazing, astonishing ability was inherited from their wild, freedom-loving ancestors who had to sit in ambush for hours, sometimes days, tracking prey, not moving, not breathing, not revealing their presence with a single muscle. Sometimes, of course, cats stare into emptiness simply because they're bored. Yes, yes, don't be surprised. Your fluffy, independent, proud friend can get bored just like any of us, like any other living being. And then he begins to seek entertainment. Look for interesting objects to observe, even if these objects are just dust particles dancing in a beam of light breaking through a gap in the curtains, or shadows that whimsically, as if in a shadow theater, change their shape on the wall, or reflections of light playing on the polished surface of furniture. Cats are also great fantasizers, dreamers, and inventors. Who knows what incredible, fantastic, captivating worlds are born in their fluffy, mysterious heads when they seemingly aimlessly, meaninglessly, mindlessly stare into emptiness. Perhaps at this very moment they imagine themselves hunting in wild jungles, pursuing a giant house-sized mouse that is about to escape, or they are fighting invisible but very dangerous, treacherous dragons, protecting their home, their territory, and their beloved owners from imminent death. Or perhaps they see portals to other dimensions, to parallel worlds inaccessible to human understanding and perception, and travel through these worlds, meeting amazing creatures and finding themselves in incredible adventures. Researchers of feline behavior, these tireless scientists who have dedicated their lives to studying the mysteries of the feline soul, have discovered another interesting, astonishing, completely unexpected fact. It turns out that cats can use their vision for communicating with other cats. Yes, yes, you heard right. That's exactly it. They can exchange information, send messages to each other using barely perceptible, practically invisible to the human eye movements of pupils, changes in the focus of the gaze, and even flickering. Yes, imagine. Cats can slightly, a little bit flicker their eyes, and other cats see this flickering, perceive it, and understand what they want to say, what information to convey. For us humans, this flickering is absolutely 100% imperceptible. We simply cannot see it. But for cats, it's a whole language, a complex, multi-level communication system, a real secret code that they use to communicate with each other. Another amazing, incredible, simply fantastic aspect of feline vision is their ability, as recent studies show, to see the Earth's magnetic fields. Yes, it sounds like complete nonsense, like the ravings of a madman, like a plot from a science fiction movie, but it's true. Scientists, conducting complex experiments, discovered that in the eyes of cats, and not only cats, but also many other animals, such as birds and dogs, there are special proteins that react to the magnetic field, like living compasses. And perhaps it is this amazing supernatural ability that helps cats navigate in space, unerringly find their way home, even if they are many, many kilometers away from it, and make long migrations. So, let's summarize. what do we have in the end? Cats staring into emptiness is not a sign of insanity, not hallucinations, not delirium, not illness, and certainly not a meeting with ghosts, spirits, demons, or other supernatural forces. This is a vivid, visual, undeniable manifestation of their amazing, unique, truly supernatural abilities. They're completely different, radically different from ours perception of the world and their rich, boundless, barrier-free imagination. They see and hear much more than we humans do, orders of magnitude more. And that very emptiness into which they stare so intently, so concentratedly, so mysteriously, is actually filled with life, movement, information, events, colors, and sounds. It's just that this life, this information, these events, colors, and sounds are beyond our human perceptual capabilities in some other dimension inaccessible to us. Now, the next time you see your cat frozen in a seemingly meaningless, incomprehensible contemplation of an empty wall or dark corner, you will know that she's not just wasting time, not being idle, and not going crazy. She is exploring the world, studying it, communicating with other cats, possibly even with those you cannot see, hunting, dreaming, fantasizing, seeing the invisible, hearing the inaudible. She is living her own feline life, full of mysteries, riddles, adventures, and discoveries. And we humans can only admire these amazing, unfathomable, mysterious creatures, our fluffy friends, and try at least a little, at least one step closer to understanding their complex, multifaceted, and beautiful inner world. Thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching this video to the very, very end. We really hope that it was interesting, informative, exciting, and perhaps even a bit shocking for you, and that now you will look at your cat, or cats in general, with even greater interest, respect, understanding, and perhaps even with a touch of envy. After all, who among us wouldn't want to possess such amazing supernatural superpowers? If you like this video, be sure certainly to leave a like. It's very, very important for us, for the development of our channel, and for even more people to learn about the amazing world of cats. And, of course, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new, even more amazing, even more shocking, and incredible discoveries from the animal world, from the world of nature, from the world of science. Don't hesitate to write in the comments, share your thoughts, your observations, your stories, your questions. Have you noticed something similar in your cat that we talked about today? Perhaps you have your own theories and hypotheses about what cats see in emptiness. We are very, very interested in your opinion. It's important for us to know what you think. And until next time, in our upcoming videos, where we will continue to explore the mysteries and riddles of the world around us, discover new horizons, and share with you the most interesting and amazing facts.